Yo, what is going on? I'm back, and on my last video I had one of my subscribers, JJ, leave a comment saying he wanted me to do some Giants gameplay. And being a Cowboys fan, it was like, no, not the Giants, but it is what it is. I mean, it's just a game. So I figured, yeah, let me do some Giants gameplay. It's a team who I definitely have not played with at all this year. But before I get on my critique of the team and what I did with them and whatever, and start commenting on the game, the EA announced that their EA Access beta just ended, and today is the 11th of August. You're gonna have access to it. You'll be able to download. I think you got to download an app for it, and then pay for a subscription, either the month-by-month one, which is about $5 a month, or the year subscription, which is $30, which I don't think is honestly that bad, because even if you use it for half the year, you're getting your money's worth out of it. And what you get, the big thing you get with it, is 5 days early access to any EA release games that are coming out that they put in their quote-unquote vault. Like, I know the first two that they're announcing that are going to be in the vault, that are going to be new games, is Dragon Age Inquisition, which I haven't played that series, and I've heard good things about it, just never got into it. And the other one that obviously I'm big in is Madden 15. So on 21 August, you'll be able to, if you got the EA Access, you'll be able to play a watered down version of the game, and actually start accruing achievements and what have you, and just experiencing the game, so you have the one up. And I know I'm going to be purchasing it, so if you guys want and you're kind of on the fence about getting it or not, just wait until I throw up my videos. I'll probably be throwing them up like that night, because I'll be just so stoked about it. From their changes, and maybe some things that I find that are problems in the game, or maybe something's overpowered, or something's not exactly how they said it was going to work. I'll give you guys my critique on them. But so anyway, so if you guys are on the fence about it, wait till I come out with those videos, and you can maybe make your decision off that. But anyway, so getting to this gameplay here, you see me and my opponent both had the ball twice already, and stopped each other. He stopped me on a 4th and 24, forcing me to punt, and then I stopped him on a 4th and 3. Here though, he doesn't. My opponent has like 3 formation he run, and that's it. And then outside of that, he'll flip it, and maybe that's all he'll really do. Here though, he's forcing it to Hankerson, and Antrell comes up with a big pick. I've been trying to use around with these linebackers, so that way I don't really take a safety out of the pinks or out of one of the deep thirds. And the Giants don't have the linebackers, in my opinion, to really use around with. So I think I end up going back to a safety, using around. But I mean, I guess that's the product of playing with the Giants, because their high spots on the teams are David Wilson, who sadly is not going to be able to continue his career if you haven't seen that, and then of course Victor Cruz, and the only other one on offense, I don't even count Eli, because Eli's got no speed whatsoever, and his arm is okay at best. The only other high spot is like Hynoski, who's the fullback, who does great job blocking. He's good sure catch, not that fast. I mean, he's a typical fullback, but you're gonna get a catch out of the guy. On defense, you got Justin Tuck and JPP, who I ended up taking out of the end position. I moved them to D tackles, because I looked up the D tackles on the Giants, and they were garbage. They were not that good. No speed. Block shed was meh. And I'd much rather a quicker guys, from the end position put into D tackles, where they're gonna pretty much chew up those guards who are more run blockers as opposed to pass blockers. And then for the end positions, I think I put in like a backup end on the right end, and I put in a linebacker, my fastest linebacker, at the left end, just so that way I can do things like this. I know it's Justin Tuck, but so that way I can do things where I can keep RG3 contained, and maybe throw a guy in coverage if it's a definite passing down. But so anyway, so that's my scheme on defense. Outside of that, the secondary is okay. Antrell Roll is probably the highlight of the secondary, which sad to say, it's not really that much of a highlight, because he's not rated well, at least in head-to-head on MUT. I know there's at least a couple good cards of Antrell Roll to where he's a baller, but it is what it is. That's what you get with the Giants sometimes, and they had a poor year, so I think they probably rated him pretty well, because it felt like I was running for my life, just like Eli was last year. So anyway, so my opponent here, he he's one of those guys that you just really don't want to play. The ones that go for fourth down all the time, that run and hurry up the whole time. They only have a very limited playbook, so I mean that does benefit you on defense, so you know what plays he's going to run. But he's the type that's going to be going for 2-point conversion, going for the onside kicks the whole game. So we know what we're in for. It's just one of those games that can get out of hand real fast. And here he keeps trying to force his ball to Santana Moss. I mean, I don't know why. It's not open, but he's still trying to get that ball to him. Here he's running forwards again, but Justin Tuck comes up with another sack for us. I mean, I think he's on the Raiders now, so big change on the D line for the Giants. But look at this. This is why you put David Wilson in. I think that's at least his first or second score he's got for me. He's going to get more for me, especially I'm going to feed this guy the ball. And here you go, getting a big hit here. I don't even know who that is. I'm trying to see right now. No clue who that was who gave me that big hit and forced that fumble. But thank you, because I really didn't think the Giants had any big hit players out here. But anyway, again back to David Wilson because he's doing work and he gets me another score. That's what you do with a guy who's got 95 speed. And this is what you do with, honestly, in my opinion, your best catch in traffic guy. You throw him into your slot and you let him make those tough catches that are going to be open. And for me on this team, it is Victor Cruz. Victor Cruz, that's where he made his name. And throw him back in the slot and let him do work. But here, this is the problem with the Giants, is they're so volatile on defense to where they don't have the greatest players. And there was 3 guys around Santana Moss, but he still threads that ball in there, and he gets the touchdown. And, of course, he goes for 2, but we're able to stop him. So, I'm not too mad. I mean, I'm up by, a touchdown with a 2-point and a field goal. And, I mean, I'm liking this guy going for 2 because I know what play he's going to run on the 2-point conversions. It's no surprise. He's going to run the little streak route with his halfback out of the backfield. Totally readable. But I'm not going to let this guy in on the fact that his defensive play or his offensive playing is vanilla. But here again, David Wilson gives me another touchdown, and we go up by 18. So, we're looking real good. My critique on the Giants is you're going to get burned on plays just like this. But the thing is, you got to keep your cool and you got to get your points when you can get your points. So whenever you win your offense, you got to punch the ball in and you got to get that touchdown. You can't be going for field goals, because I tried practicing with the Giants before I used them for the head-to-head match, and I tried the field goal, and their kicker, Brown or whatever, I missed a 49-yard field goal with this guy. Full power, short. I couldn't believe it. I really thought that was impossible to do in Madden, but evidently not with the Giants kicker. So, I mean, that is what you get. And here, I think that was 131 yards and 13 rushes. I'm liking this. I like running with David Wilson. He is definitely doing work for me. And, my guy's getting desperate now. He's run committing. I noticed that, but I thought I put Knicks on a streak, but I didn't. So it's fine. I'm able to chew up more clock here. And again, I'm going back to this run game with David Wilson because you know what? It's honestly been, destroying his team. Granted, the passing game, I don't feel like I get him a lot of time in the pocket with the Giants, especially when you play with teams like, if you play with any team like the Giants or the Niners, you obviously got time. But I feel I get a lot more time with the Redskins and definitely the Raiders as opposed to the Giants whenever I'm in the pocket. And that sucks because you got Eli Manning who, like I said before, he's got like 63 or 65 speed. He is not fast at all, and his arm is mediocre. So, I mean, there's no real high point, and there's no other quarterback you can throw in that has higher speed than like Eli. Or if it is, I think it might be like 2 points at best. So there's no point in changing out your quarterback. You don't have a Josh Johnson or a Matt Scott to go to like you do with the Jags. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm up by 26 points here, so there's no way this guy's gonna win. I don't know what he's doing. He's still running this ball, and like he's putting RG3 in a position where if I was running with RG3 right now, he'd be putting the ball on the ground. But I swear EA's got like something where you're down by so much that you're not going to fumble the ball. You're not going to turn the ball over. You get drop picks. I don't even know how many drop picks I've had so far in the game. I've had a couple at least, not user ones, but ones by the CPU. Still trying to get that user pick. I like to get one at least a game. Here, another dropped interception. And you know what? EA says back-to-back drop picks here. Are you kidding me? Like, one of those has to be caught. Brown on the from coming up from the safety position, and Webster out there at the nickel. And that's what you do with Henry Hanoski. You just give it to him in the flat and let him just bowl over those, like D'Angelo Hall and the likes of them at the corner spot. Here, bad decision on my part. Should just dumped it out again into the flat to Hanoski, but I forced the ball down the field. My fault, totally. And here, I mean, what is it? This is his third just straight streak. Holy cow! Like, what is going on with this secondary? I don't even think they were manned up there. I think he was in like just a deep zone, and he just gets burnt like that. Like, man, like, it just can't happen. If stuff like that happens in Madden 15, I'm gonna be a little upset, especially when you guys are playing off the ball and you're still doing it. Here, I get the user pick finally because I know where he's going, but it doesn't. Sadly, it won't count to my stats at the end of the game because it's a point after. So I do the dumb thing here, and instead of like kneeing the ball out and just getting out of the game, I decided to be a jerk, and I'm trying to get my 50 bill on this guy. But instead, I end up forcing this ball to RB. He picks it, and he ends the game. So leave a like on the video if you liked it. Leave a comment down there if you guys want me to play with your team, and let me know which team that is and whatever. And you know what? I still got to get a sub game in with Johnny O, one of my other subscribers. But after that, I'll be doing sub games, and definitely if you guys get the EA access, I'll gladly play you guys, because I would love to get some feedback, on how the game's playing with someone else too. But that's it for me. I'm out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this. Deuces.